You ever see a dunk so vicious that you actually feel bad for the rim? Like somebody needs to check if that basket has insurance. Some guys dunk to score points. These guys dunk to send a message. Whether it's sheer power, insane hops, or straight up disrespect, these rim wreckers made a career out of attacking the basket like it owed them money. We're talking about raw power, unreal hops, and a level of aggression that turns every slam into a highlight for the ages. These are the players who made backboards shatter, rims bend, and crowds lose their minds. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most violent dunkers in NBA history. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Let's jump into it. Amar'e Stoudemire is often recognized as one of the most violent poster dunkers of all time. He was a one-handed poster specialist. He perfected the art of cocking the ball back and delivering savage, one-handed slams over helpless defenders. He never hesitated to challenge even the league's best rim protectors. Whether it was a fast break, pick and roll, or isolation, he attacked the basket with reckless aggression. Stat reportedly had a 39-inch vertical at his peak, which, combined with his frame, made his dunks look devastating. Playing alongside Steve Nash in Phoenix, Stoudemire became the NBA's most dangerous pick-and-roll finisher. Nash would drop pocket passes while running the pick, and Stat would catch them and detonate at the rim, often making defenders look foolish. Nash's elite playmaking and Stoudemire's raw power created countless highlight dunks. His unique blend of strength and explosiveness allowed him to elevate quickly and deliver ferocious dunks. LeBron's physical attributes are virtually unmatched in NBA history. His unique blend of size, speed, and strength makes his dunks especially violent and imposing. LeBron's career is filled with legendary poster dunks, where he has humiliated elite defenders and showcased his raw aggression. Like that time he put Kevin Garnett on a poster dunking through contact in a playoff battle, an ultimate sign of dominance. At 6 feet 9 inches and 250 pounds, LeBron is built like a power forward but moves like a guard. A nightmare for anyone trying to protect the rim. With a 40-plus inch vertical, LeBron can elevate effortlessly, making his dunks both unstoppable and ferocious. Unlike many dunkers who lose their explosiveness with age, LeBron's aggressive dunking has continued well into his 40s, which is crazy to think about. He still delivers violent slams that rival players 15 years younger. Dominique Wilkins is famously known as the human highlight film. This nickname perfectly captures his dunking style. Poor Larry legend. Why did you have to jump? Unlike other dunkers who focused on finesse or style, Wilkins brought a unique blend of brute force and flair, making every dunk feel like a personal statement against the opposition. Whether it was a one-handed tomahawk or a windmill slam, Wilkins dunked with brutality. He didn't shy away from contact. He sought it out, often dunking over and through defenders with ease. Wilkins' dunk repertoire was both violent and versatile, and he could destroy the rim from almost any angle. His signature dunk was a forceful windmill, where he brought the ball down to his knees before violently slamming it home. Once Wilkins got ahead of steam, there was no slowing him down, and defenders had to choose between getting dunked on or getting out of the way. Even after suffering an Achilles injury later in his career, Wilkins continued to deliver ferocious slams well into his 30s. Blake Griffin's career is filled with some of the most brutal poster dunks of all time. Perhaps Griffin's most violent dunk was over Kendrick Perkins. Many of his most famous dunks weren't just powerful, they were disrespectful, as he often left defenders on the wrong side of posters that will live forever. Few players have literally jumped over defenders as often as Blake Griffin. His dunks often blurred the line between basketball and physical domination. Griffin's vertical was estimated to be over 40 inches, allowing him to elevate over almost anyone in the paint. He had the rare ability to go from a full sprint to exploding off the ground in one motion, making him an unstoppable force in transition and half-court sets. Instead of avoiding defenders, Griffin welcomed the challenge of dunking through them, often absorbing hard fouls while still finishing the slam. During his time with the Lob City Los Angeles Clippers, Griffin became the NBA's most dangerous lob threat, thanks in part to Chris Paul. Kemp is responsible for some of the most legendary posters, dunks so violent and disrespectful that they're still talked about today. Kemp's most famous dunk came when he annihilated Golden State's Alton Lister, finishing with a powerful slam and pointing at him while Lister crumbled to the floor. His partnership with point guard Gary Payton created endless opportunities for alley-oops and fast-break dunks. Payton's lobs often led to earth-shattering finishes by Kemp. We had them as the greatest alley-oop duo of all time, and you can check out the full rankings on our channel. The Rain Man was fearless when challenging the NBA's best rim protectors. Rather than avoiding elite defenders, he sought them out and dunked right through them. Kemp was unstoppable on the fast break. His ability to run the floor like a guard combined with his incredible leaping ability led to some of the most violent, rim-shaking dunks in transition. Even decades after his prime, Kemp's dunks remain iconic. He influenced an entire generation of power forwards who modeled their ferocious styles after his. Russell Westbrook is probably the greatest point guard dunker of all time. While he isn't the tallest player on the court, his ferocious approach to dunking sets him apart. His raw speed and vertical leap make his dunks feel like a sudden explosion. Standing 6 feet 3 inches, he plays with the physicality of a much larger player. His quick first step and 40-plus-inch vertical allow him to elevate over taller defenders and throw down with shocking power. Few players match Westbrook's intensity on a nightly basis. His motor never stops, and his dunks feel like an extension of his competitive fire. Every slam is delivered with maximum force, whether it's the first minute or the final seconds of a game. Westbrook's dunks are emotional. Whether he's letting out a primal scream or staring down a defender, his slams carry passion and intensity. This emotional edge makes his dunks feel even more impactful. One of the most impressive things about Westbrook is his fearlessness. He doesn't care if there's a 7-footer in the paint. He'll still rise up and try to destroy them. Darryl Dawkins, also known as Chocolate Thunder, holds a special place in NBA history as one of the most violent and aggressive dunkers of all time. His dunks weren't just powerful, they were earth-shaking, backboard-breaking displays of dominance that literally changed the way the game was played. Musician Stevie Wonder, who frequently attended Sixers games, gave Dawkins the nickname Chocolate Thunder. He dunked so violently that he broke NBA backboards twice in the 1979 season. This feat was unprecedented and led the NBA to reinforce backboards and eventually introduce breakaway rims to handle the force of modern dunkers. He turned his aggressive dunking style into an art form, giving his most famous slams creative and hilarious names such as the Rim Wrecker, the Spine Chiller Supreme, the Earthquaker Shaker, and our favorite, the Turbo Sexophonic Delight. When Charles Barkley was running a fast break, it looked like a freight train ready to destroy everything in sight. Barkley's combination of speed, agility, and vertical leap was rare for someone of his size. He could grab a rebound, lead a fast break himself, and finish with a rim-rattling dunk. His ability to explode off the ground made his slams even more forceful. Barkley played with an in-your-face mentality. His dunks weren't just about scoring, they were statements. He wanted to intimidate opponents and assert dominance. Whether it was a fast break or a post-up, he went at the rim with a level of aggression that left defenders thinking twice about contesting him. What made Barkley's dunking even more violent was his fearlessness. He wasn't afraid to take off in traffic, absorb contact, and finish strong. His ability to elevate and finish through hard fouls showcased his toughness and refusal to back down. Kenyon Martin is often recognized as one of the most violent and aggressive dunkers in NBA history due to his raw power, physicality, and fearless approach to attacking the rim. While he may not receive the same level of mainstream attention as some other dunkers, those who watched him play know that his dunks were ferocious, punishing, and personal. Martin's dunking style wasn't about finesse, it was brute force. He sought out contact, never shied away from physicality, and often dunked through defenders instead of around them. While some dunkers focus on smoothness, Martin's focus was on overpowering anyone in his path. Kmart didn't just dunk to score, he dunked to send a message. His dunks were not just points, they were physical statements meant to intimidate opponents and energize his team. He played with a constant chip on his shoulder and brought an aggressive, no-nonsense attitude to the game. Before we unveil the most violent dunker of all time, here are some honorable mentions. Michael Jordan, Vince Carter, Kevin Garnett, Tom Chambers, DeAndre Jordan. Shaq's dunks were so violent that he broke two entire backboards during his rookie season. He shattered one against the Phoenix Suns and ripped the entire hoop structure down against the New Jersey Nets. His destructive force even led the NBA to reinforce and redesign their backboards. His iconic Shaq attack style produced countless poster dunks throughout his career. Shaq dunked on New York Knicks center Chris Dudley, then shoved him to the ground, one of the most disrespectful and iconic dunks in NBA history. Here he powered through Hall of Famer David Robinson, showing no respect for one of the league's best defensive centers. At 7 feet 1 inch and 325-plus pounds, Shaq was a physical specimen the league had never seen. His combination of size, strength, and agility made it nearly impossible for defenders to stop him once he got near the basket. When he dunked, he didn't just score, he overpowered and humiliated anyone in his path. Do you agree with our list? Did we miss anyone? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.